So this is my company, Synergy AEC, Architecture, Engineering, Construction. You could add landscape under the heading of architecture and interiors. I make my own data sets so that I can provide classes without using any proprietary materials from clients, or I can use the client materials if that's their wish. And what I want to pick up on is that, well, I'm able to create the landscape in 2D. I also want to be able to connect those 2D symbols to realistic 3D landscapes. So just to show you here, if this is a botanical garden, it was designed in 1916 by Frank Lloyd Wright with some help from a horticulturalist. But what I'm showing here is that you can individually you can add data to any plant to say, for example, what needs to be done for maintenance. Does it need to be removed? Does it have a problem with a parasite? What's the issue or action associated with the plant? I've got my views where I can look at the origin for the plant material itself, pulling on the data. So at that point in time, there was a great interest in plants from Japan and China and from Europe. So that's what the majority of the plants in this particular proposal show. The key question here is how do I link 2D plant material to 3D plants? And I'm using the add-in called Enscape. And Enscape lets me associate any Revit family with 3D assets that are part of the Enscape library. So the secret to this is that you can assign to a 2D plant symbol a 3D asset, and then you can look in a photorealistic window to see what this looks like in your proposal. Now, there's not a matching plant for every plant that's in the botanical gardens or in my tallgrass prairie ecosystem, but you can often match up with something that approximates, maybe it has the same height, same kind of leaf, and the same flowering color, that kind of decision that you alone can make. Here I'm going to look just for deciduous trees, just to show you that it's easy to pick a plant that's part of the Enscape assets. Often it's options for foliage, and then you can link to any plant that's in your Revit file to bring it up. There are faster ways of doing this than doing them one plant at a time, but that's the basics of being able to connect between a 2D plant and a 3D plant. If you need to create something custom, then if I say I look at this where I'm seeing, the location of the botanical garden, and I go look at the 3D window, if I don't have a matching plant, then Enscape does also have the ability to create custom assets where you literally kind of build the plant yourself, because you can bring in files of different format from other sources on the internet. The other thing that this would offer me is the ability to quickly create paths so that my camera can move from one location to another. So I just save the first location, save the second location, and then I can go and play an animation to show as I move from one location to the other. So I can have like inspection pathways through my site as I'm designing that let me review and produce animations in minutes rather than hours.